Good morning, guys. So today for math, we are learning about cylinders. And so what cylinders are, they're things that are circles on the top and bottom. And we're going to be looking at how much volume those things occupy. So it could be a thing like a can of Coke is a cylinder. It's a circle on the top, circle on the bottom. Or it could be something like, I'm in my garage right now, so here we go. This is a spray paint can. So you'll see it's a circle on the top, circle on the bottom, and then it's filled up in the inside with paint. So we're gonna be looking at like, okay, this cylinder, how much paint would it hold? Or if it's a Coke can, how much Coke would it hold? Okay, so to think about how I can calculate the volume of a cylinder like this, so again, a circle on the top, circle on the bottom, how much space is there in that cylinder? To find out how much volume and how to calculate the volume of a cylinder, we have to think about, well, let's think about how we did it for a prism. So for a prism, what we did, we had an easy formula for it, width times length times height, but remember what we were actually doing, we were finding the area of the base, the bottom or the top, either would work. So say this prism here has a top that has an area of 20 centimeters squared. Well, to find the volume of that, all we would do is just take that area of the top and multiply it by how high the prism is. So we're making that area go all the way throughout. Okay, so for this case, we would do, if it was an area of 20, so 20 times 3, it would be 60 centimeters cubed would be the volume. We're going to do the same kind of thing for a cylinder. We're going to find out the area of the top or the bottom, and then we're going to multiply that by the height. The only difference now is that we're not finding the area of a rectangle, we're finding the area of a circle. And good thing we've already practiced, and you guys have showed me that you know how to find the area of circles. So let's do an example here. Say we have a cylinder that has a bottom with radius of 2 centimeters and height 5 centimeters. Okay, so that looks something like this. Okay, so we do a circle up top. Okay, it's like that. And then we do the front side of the circle that we can see. And then in the back, we do it dotted so that we can't really, it's like we're seeing through, it's kind of x-ray vision. Okay, so the bottom has a radius of 2 centimeters. That means from the center to the edge of my circle, it's 2 centimeters, okay? And it has a height of 5 centimeters. So how are we gonna find out the volume? Well, the first thing that I need to do, I need to find out what is the area of my base. So what are we doing here? We're finding the area of a circle. So remember, the area of a circle is pi times radius squared, or we write times radius times radius. So I know my radius is 2 centimeters, so I do 3.14 times 2 times 2. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my calculator here. Okay, 3.14 times 2 times 2 equals 12.56. 12.56 centimeters squared. Okay, so that's the area of my base. Now to find out what the volume is, again, I need to make that base go all the way throughout to find out what the space is all the way throughout my cylinder. So I'm going to times this base by 5 centimeters. Okay, so I'm going to do 12.56, and I'm going to times that by the height, by 5 centimeters. Okay, so 12.56 times 5 is, okay, it is 62.8. Now it's a volume, it's this space all the way through here, so it's centimeters cubed. Okay, and actually if we want to think about my formula, so volume of a cylinder, so I find the area of the base and then I multiply it by the height. So you could say my volume of a cylinder formula would be pi r squared times h times height. Okay, so you can think about that formula, or really you're just finding the area of a base and multiplying it by the height. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, what's the volume of a cylinder that has a top with diameter 10 centimeters and a height of 8 centimeters? Okay, let's draw another one, so I'll draw it big here. Okay, there we go. Looks like this. And it looks like this. Okay, so it's got a top with a diameter of 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters. And just notice the reason why I'm drawing these circles kind of like elliptical is not, I'm not drawing it like an actual circle. It's because I'm trying to make it look kind of 3D a little bit. So that's why the circles are drawn like this. It's not because they're longer than shorter. I'm just trying to make them look 3D. Okay, so the diameter of this is 10 centimeters and the height is 8 centimeters. So how do I find out the volume of this? Well, the first thing I need to do, I need to find the area of the top. Okay, so again, area is pi r squared. Okay, so I've been given the diameter here. So first thing I need to do is think about what the radius is. Well, if it's a diameter of 10, that means the radius is 5. So now I can plug that into my equation here, 3.14 times my radius is going to be 5 centimeters times 5 centimeters. Okay, so put that into my calculator and I get 78.5, and it's centimeters squared right now because that's my top here. My top is 78.5 centimeters squared. Now to find out what the volume is, I just take that top and I multiply it by my height so that I find out what's the volume all through here. Okay, so I do 78.5 centimeters squared times 8 centimeters. Okay, and what do I get? Times that by 8, I get 628 centimeters cubed because we're talking about a volume. Okay, one last question. Okay, so a can of Pepsi, and we're talking about Pepsi because we all know that Pepsi is better than Coke. Pepsi is far superior in many ways to Coke. If any of you guys prefer Coke, sorry, but you're wrong. Feel free to message me in the chat and tell me why you think Coke is better, but Pepsi is obviously better. So a can of Pepsi has a top that is 6 centimeters across and 10 centimeters high. What is the volume of the can? Okay, well, when it says here the top is 6 centimeters across, well, that doesn't, when we see that across, that doesn't mean from the side to the middle. That means we're going all the way across. So again, it's giving us the diameter. Okay, so the diameter is 6 centimeters. Okay, and my can is 10 centimeters high. Okay, to find out the volume, first thing I do, find the area of the top. The area, so if the diameter is 6 centimeters, it means the radius is going to be 3 centimeters. So my area formula is pi times radius, so it's going to be 3.14 times 3 times 3. Okay, 3.14 times 3 times 3 equals 28.26 centimeters squared. I have the area of my top, so to find the volume, I multiply it by the height. So I do 28.26 centimeters squared times that by 10 centimeters. Okay, and this is something that I can do in my head because when I multiply it by 10, I'm just moving the decimal place over 1. So what I end up with for my volume is 282.6 centimeters cubed. Okay, and from last day, remember, 1 centimeter cubed is 1 milliliter. So you don't need to know this for today, but just so that you know for extra. Since it's 282.6 centimeters cubed, we don't really think about drinking Coke or Pepsi in centimeters cubed. We think about drinking it in milliliters. So this can holds 282.6 milliliters, or about 1/3 of a liter. Okay, so that's how we calculate the volume of a cylinder. We'll be doing some practice questions today. Shoot me a message in the chat if you have any difficulty.